Now, the first I want you to understand is this, that out of the three categories or three reasons that we explain in this video, you're going to fall into any of them. I'm going to share with you three major reasons why you're not making money as a trader in 2024. And these three reasons, you're going to probably fall into any of this category, and what you want to do is simply identify the category I fall into and tackle it squarely in 2025. But before we go into that, if you're seeing me for the very first time, my name is Divine and I'm a forex trader. What I basically do on this channel is document how I trade and as well show you the mindset behind my strategy. If you want to see something like this, smash the subscribe button, like this video, and drop a comment when I ask a question. I'll be right back. Now, the first I want you to understand is this, that out of the three categories or three reasons that we explain in this video, you're going to fall into any of them. That means the reason why you're going to lose money or why you're still losing money is because you fall into any of these three categories that we explain in this video. Now, the first category is simply this one: you don't have a good strategy. You don't have a good strategy. Now, somehow it might sound like a lie, but it's true. The reason why you're making or not making money or making losses is because you don't have a good strategy. And there's a way I can be able to tell or decipher if or not you have a good strategy. And I'm going to tell you in this video, and you can then use yourself or judge yourself to know if you're in this category, right? The reason I'm able to understand or decipher that you don't have a good strategy is because you cannot give me a number of trades that were losses and a number of trades that were win after you compounded 100 trades. That means the reason why I'm coming to conclusion that you don't have a good strategy is because you cannot account for me how many losses you had or how many wins you had after 100 trades. That means this is the reason why I'm able to tell that you don't have a good strategy. You can't give an account of how many losses you had and how many wins you had after you compounded 100 trades. This is number one reason to tell you that you don't have a good strategy. And if you fall in this category, what you want to do in 2025 is to simply be able to compound at least 100 trades and be able to give an account of how many were losses and how many were wins using whatever strategy you're using. That means if you're using A plus B or B plus C, be able to use that A plus B plus C or C, whatever thing you're using, to compound 100 trades and be able to give an account of how many were losses and how many were wins. You don't have it, and I'm very convinced that because you don't have it, you fall in this category. You don't have a good strategy. That is number one reason. Now, if you're in this category, I've already given you a clue of what you should be doing by 2025. Now, the next category of people is simply number two, which is what? You don't have another source of income. Now, people in this category are very plenty, and I'm going to give you a very good clue on how this affects your trading, right? Now, if you're in this category of those who do not have a source of income or another source of income, you're going to be overly attached or emotionally attached to your stop loss. That means, let's for example say you have a good trade, you have a good strategy, and you have a good setup that tells you to buy from here, and you should put your stop loss here and your TP here, right? Your good strategy tells you to do this, and because you don't have another source of income, you're overly attached to your stop loss. What this means is this: let's for instance say the only money you have with you is simply $100. That's the only money you have. Maybe you just got it from maybe one, I don't know, $100, and your stop loss here, you're risking $20 to this trade, right? That means from here, your entry point to your stop loss is simply what? $20. Now, because you don't have another source of income, or you're overly attached to the outcome of this particular entry, you're simply going to be worried about where is the next money going to come from if I lose this particular trade. You're panicking, you're scared, because you don't have another source of income, or you don't have another capital that can replace this if eventually you lose all the money. You're overly attached to the outcome, and what this happens to you, what this does to you is simply for you to be panicking or squeeze your stop loss. For example, let's assume you're buying a trade from this place and price is buying to the upside, and price begins to retrace back and retracing back. Now, because you're seeing price retracing back and giving you market structure that look like it's sell, you're simply going to close from this trade here with the hope that you're trying to minimize losses, and eventually maybe you're down like minus 15%, minus $15, right? You're down to this point, $15, and you're trying to save this $5, and maybe just so you can cut your profit, cut your profit short, and cut your all of those things, right? And now you begin to make some kind of emotional mistake at this point here, because you're trying to squeeze your stop loss and not lose too much like this, right? And eventually price might simply sell to the downside and move to the upside, right? This happens to you because you're overly attached to the outcome of your stop loss, and because of that you begin to squeeze your stop loss until price takes you out, and then price goes to your direction. The reason for this is because of your emotional attachment, or your carefulness to not lose plenty, or your attachment to your stop loss. Hence, you need another source of income that will be able to replace this money if eventually you lose the whole money. And now if you're in this category, there are basically about 3 routes you can choose to go through for you to be able to, develop or outsource a different source of income as a trader. Number 1 is simply see if you can go for what? 1 is simply 9 to 5. You can choose to go for 9 to 5 job and be able to get the money and replace and fund your accounts. 9 to 5 job. You can choose that one. 2, you can choose to go into content creation, right? You can choose to go into content creation, create videos and probably make money from videos and be able to use it to fund your account. That's a choice. Any route you choose to use, you have to pay the consequences and be able to go through what it is you have to go through for you to achieve any of these routes. And remember, any decision you choose to make, you have to bear the consequences. Now tell me in the comment section, which one will you choose? 9 to 5? Content creation? Alright, number 3. That means, is it that you fall into this category, or you're simply in this category that I'm going to display right now as number 3. But before I go into number 3, please, I want you to subscribe. I don't want myself, please subscribe, like this video, and drop a comment by simply answering the first question I asked, that if you're going to go to 9 to 5, content creation, or probably fraud. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Now number 3 is simply, you don't have a coach. You don't have a coach, or you don't listen to your coach. That means this third category is simply those who have a coach and those who don't have a coach, right? You can have a coach and you don't listen to your coach, and as well you can simply don't have a coach. And remember, I said coach, not mentor. There's a difference between mentor and a difference between coach. A coach is simply someone who's going to hold your hand and guide you through everything that you need to go through as a trader. That means what a coach does is simply to hold your hands and be able to walk you through every step that you're going to take in compounding these 100 trades, right? That is the duty of a coach, not a mentor. A mentor don't have your time, but a coach has your time full time, right? So you want to simply go for a coach and be able to also listen to your coach very well. Now, if you look for a coach, use me, I'm available, and you have to pay me for it. Now, if you're in any of these categories, you simply have to be able to be aware of the category you fall into and tackle it in 2025 squarely. Tackle it squarely in 2025. That will be all for this video. I'll see you in the next video.